Hi, you are watching SightsIn Plus and this is Vomesh Shivastu. Please do subscribe the channel for the HR news, for HR updates and conversation with the top notch CHROs, thought leaders and business heads. Today we are trying to discuss a very interesting subject. What are the skills which are in most demand right now in 2024? We have two senior HR leaders. Let me welcome Ms. Gauri Das. She is a senior vice president and head human resources at India Factoring and Finance Solutions Private Limited. And another panelist is Mr. Rishav. Rishav is head talent acquisition and is working at Century Plyboard India Limited. Gauri, if I come to you first, so according to you, what are the skills which are in most demand right now in this year, 2024?
Yeah, thanks, Ramesh, for having me here and having this conversation because every day things are changing. And we say that skills are also changing very, very quickly, and we need to really know. And there are so many skills around. So it's very difficult to pinpoint what exactly do I need to learn. And that's where such conversations may bring up some information to our listeners that, yes, this is what I need to focus on. So, if I talk about skills that are important today, some are common skills. I will have multiple categories. The common one would be the most important one today, I would say mindset to change or adaptability because like I said everything is changing and no matter which role you are in you are seeing a lot of change. Say I started my career from leave and attendance management and today not even interns are doing it. So, a mindset to change or adaptability, I would say, would be first or most crucial skill. Second would be interpersonal skills, and more so in terms of when you are operating in a four generational environment, when you are operating remote or you're having a global team with which you need to interact. This also becomes a very important skill. Third, I would say the most common we always talk about it leadership, but I would add a twist to it. I would say self leadership. You need to have self motivation, you need to drive change for yourself. That these three I would say would be very very important in terms of common skills. Now if I talk about banking, what's happening, and in terms of functional and technical skills, we know all the IT skills are on demand, so it would be a repetition if I talk a lot about it. But besides that, the skills which we are really really looking at in banking is compliance because it's a huge thing today that RBI is also coming up with a lot of compliances. Legal experts, compliance experts are most in demand, and it's not a very very old role also. You may not have heard about a compliance professional 15, 20 years ago, and they were like just a checkbox thing. But today, it's very important, and that's why red tech is also coming up in so much demand. So, compliance legal is one of the most crucial skill besides IT. And yeah, so this is what I would like to share about the important skills.
Thank you, Gauri. Thank you for sharing the skill sets for this year, 2024. Rishabh, would you like to add here something?
See, I think Gauri added it absolutely in a perfect way, I would say. But only thing I still believe in that old theory of discipline, right? Because that is what I think people are not adapted in or not accustomed in this new era. The problem of instant gratification that has brought up this young generation. They think everything will happen in just 6 months. 6 months they'll be promoted, 6 months they'll be rewarded. So, and when that does not happen, I think they lose that patience and feel that organization is not providing enough challenge. In fact, especially when my role here is recruitment, and we recruit a lot of people because of a large scale development in the organization at this stage. And of course, there are attrition challenges also. So this is because of the people willing to change too quickly. The reason when it goes back is they are unable to gel with people. That is what is the interpersonal skills, like Gauri said. It is extremely important. However smart or intelligent we grow up, if we do not have interpersonal skills within, it would be very difficult for us to survive in the system. Because ultimately you will have to work with people. however technologically advanced the organization or the world may be, right? But for example, if there is a sales role, the robots or AI will not go and sell it. We will still need humans to interact with humans and sell it. Of course, AI and different robotics or whatever technology is there, it adds a value. But you have to have within the quality of interpersonal skills. If that is not there, and of course, having a lot of patience, skills can be developed, but the attitude, having that attitude during our growth path in the journey of life, that is most important, I think. And we are lacking somewhere. This generation especially lacks somewhere.
Right. Gauri, right now we are in era of generative AI, and when I'm saying we are in era of generative AI means we are talking a lot of about the generative AI, and this is a technology. But how to use this technology? I think this should be very considered as a very common skill. How you are going to use the generative AI? Because and another, we are also talking about a lot more about the sustainability. So do you think these two skills are also important for this 2024?
Yes, totally with you because again, ESG is in a very, very nascent stage in India, but the jobs are opening up in that area. And I would say sustainability is for every single moment. Forget about job or forget about anything. If we need to remain here and we need to leave something for our next generations, that is one skill which we need to really work upon for jobs and for life as well. And I agree with you on generative AI also, because we cannot run away from technology. And there are people, still, I come across people who have not even heard about generative AI or chat GPT or something. And we know just 2 days ago, they released even the video version of it. So now the generative AI has capability to produce videos also on some prompts, and it can create up to 60 seconds of video. So keeping our eyes closed is not going to help, or saying that using generative AI is like copying. I don't agree with that, because it's a new age technology and it is there to help us. Say, for example, I was speaking to someone in customer services and he shared that today there is a generative AI prompt in front of every customer service executive, and they are getting answers immediately, that customer is irate or customer is asking me something, what should I respond to? So if you don't really learn to use that technology, you would not be able to even do well in the entry level job where there is a lot to support you. So I think running away from technology is not a solution, and generative AI learning is also very important, and at the same time the sustainability 100% to that.
Rishabh, similarly, we see a lot of scamming on the social media. We see a lot of scam. You are getting a lot of messages on on phone, on WhatsApp. So somehow the cyber security and data skill, that is also very important. These are the general skills, I think. If you're working in any kind of profile, so these should be the general skills, I think. So what is your opinion about this?
This AI and of course all these new technologies are the latest in demand, right? We can't evade it. We have to learn it. But the problem I see in with this is the irresponsible usability of these new products, new technology. That is what is somewhere hurting the entire society, I would say. See, imagine a situation wherein an retired person loses 10 lakh rupees. A simple middle class retired, not even a middle class. These days, 10, 12 lakhs savings is not a middle class, right? Middle class probably has risen way above. So a person with that retired age loses 10 lakh rupees due to this kind of a technological fraud. How will that person feel? Or how will that person survive? Right? So somewhere I think we need to educate the society or to bring in the human aspect in people more when they use such technologically powerful tool. Like we are always under threat, the entire world, wherein a country's top leader or ruler may utilize any of the missiles any day, what will happen? The neighboring country, both the countries are technologically way advanced, but one of the northern neighbor of that particular country, I'm not naming it, you can understand. Any day, the gentleman can do anything. There is always a fear within the other people. Why do we have such fear? Why do we live in a society which has been blessed so well we have evolved in generations with this such kind of a mind and thought process. Why can't we utilize it in a proper way? Why can't we utilize these technological advancement for the betterment of people, and not even a single person should feel that pinch of this advancement? That is what is my biggest worry, because my parents are also old. I may not be home at every time or may not be with them all the time. Any mobile or data breach, anything happens, how will I deal with them? What kind of and everybody may have the same kind of a fear back at home, because old age people are not that technologically advanced. My father till date does not use in fact, a touchscreen phone. Yes, I have gifted him one long back. He only sees podcasts or videos, nothing else. He has never saved that mobile into. He still uses that plain QWERTY keyboard phone for his all the data kind of a thing, or mobile, telephonic, messaging, everything. But the touch screen he only uses for YouTube. These days, he's also addicted to YouTube. That is the only thing. So that is a worry actually. The sad part of this technological advancement. So my only fear is this: we need to do it in a conscious and a religious manner, wherein everybody feels safe of this technological use. We can't uh, forget or lose sight of this. That is what is my
Right,
thought
right. We
process.
cannot evade. These are the technologies which every day we are using, and that may be professionally, maybe in our personal life, we are using these technologies. Gauri, as we discussed some technological, skills, and you also discussed about some interpersonal skills. So, in this era, when we are talking about the advancement of technology, so people to people connect, that is very important. So you can say people to people collaboration, that is human skill, that is very important. How we can develop this human skill? What is your take on this?
Yeah, very important question, because we are gaining IT skills and we are losing the human touch, or we are losing those human skills, the very, very basic thing that is the premise of our existence. We are losing on that. And I think why it is happening, because a lot of reasons. It starts from how the family size has changed, how we are in nuclear family, there's nothing to share, no collaboration in the childhood. I remember we are three siblings, and how anything which will be at home must be divided amongst everyone, and there was always a competition. And that not competition, but there was always be that I was the youngest one, so anything that they leave, the leftovers would be for me, and those kind of things used to happen. But now there's only one child, there is no guidance from grandparents also. So a lot of things have changed, and that has actually led to more selfishness also, which is different from what we say self love, but we have taken it to that extent, and we have said it doesn't matter, selfish to selfish, we are loving ourselves. So all those things have gone wrong, and that's where we are in the situation where we are. I think what is most critical and that has really helped me is taking feedback and involve your family also in the feedback. They play a very important role. We generally do it only at the workplaces, but involving family is important. And if I share my experience, when I started many years ago this particular process, which I do annually, and I asked my daughter, who was around 7, 8 years that time, to rate me from 1 to 10, 10 being highest. She rated me 2 or 3 on multiple parameters. And likewise at work also, when you give them that environment that they can really give you the right feedback, because only thing which I was allowed to tell them was thank you. And I couldn't say anything else. So I really got some good feedback, and I realized that there are a lot of pointers which I need to work upon. Those black holes for me, which I had no idea about. But how you accept that feedback and how you work on it is also important. So self reflection, taking feedback, these are most important thing. Third, that has really helped me is meditation. It has slowed me down. It has helped me become very calm, composed, and look at other person's perspective. So the changes that I've seen in last 5, 6 years that I am into meditation, I cannot pinpoint what exactly it is, but so many changes, so much feedback I have got because I do this process annually. So three things I would say: reflect if you had a conflicting situation, or if you had a situation, how you behaved, how you showed up, what were your emotions that day, that point of time, were you really good? Because we are our own best judge. We know what we did and how we should have behaved. So that is one. Second is we're going around and asking for feedback. For me, annually it is 27 people. And third thing is meditation. I think if we follow these, I believe I am more human today than years ago.
Rishabh, what is your take on this?
See, I believe, of course, I personally agree with what Gauri has mentioned, because I also generally, every day I practice meditation. That has transformed a lot, because you need to know your own self, and at the same time believe that yes, the person in front of you is also, in fact, if at all God is there, God has made me as well as the same person up in front of me, right? So we need to accept we all are human beings with all lots of imperfections, right? So then why judge others? Be happy with the person in front of you, whosoever it is, because I have seen closely people losing lives. I had a very close team member, worked with him for 5 years. At age of 40, he lost his life in just 4 months out of cancer. In fact, you'd be surprised. For on 13th, we lost somebody I knew. In fact, very recently, I met here in Century only. She worked with a very prestigious organization, 33 years of age. All of a sudden, just 25 days, she died out of cancer. So life is short. We should accept people the way they are and be happy about it, because you never know who is going through what. And that is what is the best thing of life. Learn to live with happiness every day. Tomorrow may not be there. A lot of people on this earth will not see tomorrow's morning sun. So we will be blessed if we are there to still see it, and more blessed if we are seeing it with our loved ones. A lot of people will not have their loved ones, right? So we need to believe in that. Life is short. Help each other, love each other, and grow with each other. Because otherwise, we have always been taught since childhood, we have to be better than the other. We have to be at the number one. I don't know what kind of number one it has been throughout, which we have been taught. It was probably the ignorance of the society. My parents also always thought of, "Arey, he is or she is coming first. Inka beta, Sharma ji ka beta first aa gaya. Tumne kya kiya?" Right? So that kind of comparisons we have always seen. That was an age. Now people realize, right? So we should not compare. Everybody has their own battle. I may be very good in something other than studies, right? So be it. Earning money should not be the only goal in life. Let us earn happiness, and happiness through people. That is what should be the ultimate goal of life. And you see the entire society changing. Today, there are so many technologically advanced countries. What is happening to them? Somebody is
Right.
pushing their weapons through somebody, and innocent people are losing lives. Was it required just to be number one? So, in fact, practically speaking, number one is only a reference point till the time the other person is not number one. So, what is the point in being a number one? So, let's be happy in number one if you can be at all. And let's be happy within. Love your own self first. Learn to be happy with our own selves. Today, if you ask anybody to be without mobile for some time, it will be as if you have asked for something internal part of that particular person. The person cannot be without mobile. If the mobile goes off, the person is devastated, kind of a thing. How will I survive like that situation? If you
Right,
can't
Rishabh. I
enjoy
think
your own company,
empathy and compassion, that is really very important. These are the skills. But when you see
absolutely.
the candidate in the interview process, how do you assess first? Second, how to discern that these are the skills that must have candidate must have. These are the skills if the candidate is having, that is good. These are the skills we can develop. How do you discern this, and how to rate that what percentage of skill he is having, a particular skill he is having? Do you believe on certain certification? What is your methodology for this?
See, I have never been an advocate of certifications ever in my life. Of course, these add value. If you can do it, that shows your attitude, that whether you are willing to learn or not. But how I judge, I don't say I judge people, but if I have to meet somebody for selection, I simply see the attitude first, because that is the most important thing. a person with the more educated or the more degrees with prestigious institutions they have, I find more of a humbleness whether the person has or not. If the person is not humble, even after having such kind of a knowledge or attitude or skill set, that person will not be a right fit for the organization. I never take people based on their knowledge skills. I never take, because knowledge can be earned by anybody ever. Even if you try to give experience to a monkey, the monkey will also learn some of the traits. So we need people who can act emotionally and empathetically with people, because you will have to ultimately work with people. If it is a single standalone job wherein the person has to work with the computer, then I think knowledge is more important. But otherwise, any day, any time, I would always look forward for a great attitude and a positive attitude in that, a warm attitude.
Gauri, I would like to bring you in this. How do you assess the skills, and how do you see that what are the mandatory skills and where you can compromise, or which skills you can develop?
Yeah, very rightly said, Rishav, and I fully agree with you. It's more about attitude. But yes, if we have to really say how we assess the skills, so say for example, if these are functional skills, you will ask questions around it. There will be some test around it. If it is, say for example, somebody is coming for HR interview, you will ask relevant questions. You will ask behavioral questions. There are psychometric tests. You will connect with another interviewer. You will watch, like Rishabh rightly said, how the behavior was, and you will put everything together in perspective. And then you will again go for reference checks, and there again you will figure out what particular skills were there or not, or the candidate was only making stories, because star method is known to everybody, right? So if on this side you improve your defense, and that side they know what technology or what solutioning needs to be brought in. So everything put together pata chal jata hai, because we also have been interviewing for so long, so you know whether there was just a story or it was really a substance for behavioral skills. And for technical skills, like I said, there will be certain parameters on which you would be testing. Now there are assessment centers also to identify whether a technical skill is being met or not. And when it comes to technical or functional, it can be any area. It can be HR, it can be IT, it can be sales, whatever it is. So yeah, this is how skills are currently being evaluated. I mean, this is how I am doing it.
And Gauri, what would your tips for the self development? You can say the skill development for the job aspirants right now.
Yes, so I would say first figure out who you are, like Rishav already mentioned, awareness, self-awareness, figure out who you are, what you want to do, and then look forward to understand what skills would be important. And you rightly pointed, nobody can have all the skills. Also, we are not looking for superhumans, because we are not superhumans. If we evaluate ourselves, if I evaluate myself and all the skills that would be required for HR, there will be certain areas where I would be found wanting, and some I would be having as strengths. But what I need to also do besides learning those skills, playing with my strengths, which we never talk about in our since our childhood. We always look at the report card and say, "Yahan pe acha nahi hua hai, we need to work on that." But what are the places where we are already doing well? How do we leverage them? How do we utilize them to the fullest? So learn, first understand yourself, then identify the area where you want to work on. In that areas, what are the top 5 skills, figure out, and then connect what you already know. And there are various assessments available for that. Strength Finder is a very powerful tool which tells you your top 5 strengths, or it can be more, but I'm just saying, even if you figure out just top 5 and you start working with them, you will be able to do well. So identify your area, identify the skills required, where you are, figure out the gap, and then bridge it with sort of courses, with mentors, with self-awareness, with reading.
And Rishabh, what are your tips for the self development?
See, I would not say it as a tip, but everybody has their own personal choices. That is what is most important to know. What exactly do you want in life? Don't look at others that this person is doing that, so I should also do it. No, that never works. So be very clear. Have that clarity. As I say, motivation has zero meaning for me. There should be absolute clarity that what I want. If I want something and it makes me happy and my surroundings are happy with it, go for it. Be it a Maruti 800 or a Mercedes Maybach, right? One should feel happy about it. You see the most lousy faces on the biggest cars, right? They're more tensed. And the most happy are the smaller ones, probably, because they have nothing to lose in life. So live life with that kind of a thing. That is most important. Read books. Every day one should at least read 30 minutes. And meditation, 10 to 15 minutes. These are the most important things. And focus on improving yourself every day, what you are, because that is more important. If you are the same person what you were yesterday, I think you will also not like yourself. So learn to improve yourself day by day. Each day you have to focus on it and consciously do it. That is what is more important.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rishabh and Gauri, for joining the session and sharing your wonderful thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Romesh. Thank
Thank
you, Gauri.
you. Thank you, Rishav.